good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on your different time zone. This is Statistical and Geospatial Insights YouTube series. We are meeting again in lesson number 19, which is about the FINA model. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to apply and use the FINA model to structure your research questions. What is the FINA model? The FINA model is one of the models or frameworks used to structure research questions, and FINA is an acronym that stands for visible, interesting, novel, ethical, and relevant. And this is one of the model used to structure research questions to ensure that the research question is well constructed, meaningful, capable of leading to an impactful study. Areas where FINA model can be applied in medical and clinical research, public health, nursing, systematic reviews, in general scientific research, in computer vision and artificial intelligence, in remote sensing and urban planning, in engineering and manufacturing, in earth systems and hydrology. The component of the FINA model. Visible, what does it mean? First of all, you look at the visibility of the study by seeing that the research question is answerable given the available resources that include time, funding, expertise, and data. Is the study interesting? Means that you're looking at the question, that the question is compelling to researchers or other stakeholders. The topic should be engaging enough to attract interest and funding. Novel. Does the research add to existing knowledge? Does it contain any originality? Ethical. Does the study uphold ethical standards? Relevant. Will the answer to the question have practical implications? Let us look at the following example so that we understand how the components of the FINA model actually are very important for the research question. The question is, how does the increased water temperature from industrial runoff affect the biodiversity of macroinvertebrates in the local river systems over a 12-month period? Let us come and analyze the component of FINA in the questions. The first thing is the study visible? Yes, the study is visible because the river system is accessible. Standard methods exist for collecting and identifying macroinvertebrates. A 12-month time frame is manageable with adequate staffing. Is the study interesting? Yes, the study is interesting because this type of studies can draw attention on river ecosystems and river health. Therefore, local environmental agencies, conservation societies may become inquisitive about the findings of such studies. Policymakers may also like to know what the results will be. They need information from such studies to modify or strengthen their environmental laws and legislation. Novel. Perhaps impacts of thermal pollution has never been studied in this river, though other rivers might have been studied. For this reason, this type of study actually is original since it's the first time to be implemented or carried out in this river. Ethical. Studies that involve human subjects need ethical declaration that authority concerned or the study subject themselves have given their consent to be part of the study. However, the current study involves observation of the river conditions, collecting macroinvertebrates, which does not raise ethical concerns or harm a protected population. Relevance. Findings important to policymakers to develop environmental legislations. Data needed for future research on ecosystem and climate change. Uh, this actually brings us to the end of the models that we use to structure questions. We have started by looking at the PICO model, then the spider model, the Eclipse model, the Peacock, and finally the final model. Uh, the primary advantage of the final model is its being visible, interesting, novel. It considers ethical consideration and its relevance, and it provides a systematic framework for researchers to evaluate and refine research questions. Thank you. See you in the next YouTube.